Hey, what's happening? It's me, Michael Zinn. Welcome to The Moment. This is The Moment with me, Michael Zinn. It's something that I've created to basically create conversations with people and create a moment and exist in that moment that I've created, and something that I can look forward to, always creating a moment and talking to people in these conversations. So it's kind of like a show, but I don't like calling it a show. I just like calling it The Moment. So welcome to The Moment. You are actually co-creating the moment with me, just by being here and listening. And if you understand what I'm talking about, we'll get along great. If you don't understand, just hang out for a little while and you will understand that you're co-creating this moment and that this moment is intentional. I wanted to create this particular moment. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Sunshine Okubo, who some of you guys may know, some of you may not. I'm going to introduce you guys to her if you don't. And she said, why don't we do a show about self-love? And that happens to be one of the variables that I put into my equation when I talk about how to be happy and successful. So we're going to talk about self-love, and we're going to talk about Sunshine's story and how she sees self-love and what it's all about. So welcome to the show, Sunshine. Hey there.
Hey.
What's up, Sunshine?
Nothing. Just hanging around.
Cool. It's good to see you.
Good to see you
Pull
too.
this music down just a little bit. So welcome to the moment again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love sharing moments with you and conversation with you. And we were talking earlier, and you said, hey, we should do a show about self-love.
Yeah.
And I said, of course we should. That's what we're here for. We're here to talk about things that kind of inspire people to have a happy and successful life, and to understand some of the things that they're struggling with, that everybody struggles with, and maybe feel like, hey, I struggle with that too. And that's a good way to look at it and change some perspectives, send some ripples out into the universe, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So self-love is definitely one of those ingredients. Intention is one of those ingredients, and that's what the moment is all about. I've created this moment with the intention to do these things, but self-love is also a super important one. So let's talk about self-love and what it means to you. I guess you could either start by telling us what it means to you, or start by telling us your story and how you reached the realization about self-love.
I guess I'll start with my story. Abused by 6 different people in my life. Homeless at one point. Lots of struggles. 100 pounds overweight. Divorced my husband in 2019. I never lived alone. I was always, either I have I had my son, or I was married, and never experienced an actual moment of just being alone, no responsibilities, and just worrying about myself.
Right.
And 2019, I purchased this home, and it was like such a healing experience. I started the journey in 2014, just reading about mindfulness and starting yoga and stuff. But are you okay?
I'm okay. I drank some water, went down the wrong pipe. So
put your arms up.
I muted myself so I didn't interrupt your.
And I just started doing the self-love journey, and.
So are you saying? I don't mean to interrupt you, but are you saying like it took you being alone to really understand self-love?
Yeah.
Like being around the other people who were toxic, let's say.
Yes.
You didn't even know that until they weren't around,
right.
And you were by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's interesting.
I mean, I knew a lot. to remove toxic people from my life. At an early age, I was on my own at 16, but the pattern kept repeating and repeating and repeating. And then finally, you know, you just say, what the hell am I doing? And
you took your own accountability for the situation.
Yeah. And just started believing in myself and seeing my self-worth. And you can go on to all these diet fads and do all this self-help stuff, but you have to really dig deep and heal the trauma that causes you to repeat these patterns over and over again.
Right.
And start from within and then start peeling the layers off.
Right.
One by one.
The famous layers.
Yes.
That we're covered with as we grow through this.
Yeah.
This thing called humanity. Right. Yeah.
So then I just took off and now I formed a group, Goddess Love. Hey, goddesses. And
that's a Facebook group, right? The Goddess.
Yes.
Great.
And now I'm helping people on their journey, because you can only save yourself.
Right.
People can't heal you. You have to save yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's something a lot of people don't seem to understand also. They try, and it's natural to want to help somebody and try to help.
Of course,
but if you understand they can only help themselves, then you kind of understand a better approach to take, that you can help. You certainly can provide help and inspiration,
right?
But you can't, you can't get frustrated if it's not changing that person.
Right,
you gotta understand.
It's the person that has to want to change themselves. It's habits. You formed all these habits, you learned all these habits, and if you're keep on doing the same habits, nothing's gonna change.
Right. So I don't want to pry, and you just can tell me, what you feel comfortable with. But you said, okay, you said, I put together a couple things. You said you were abused by quite a few people, and you said you left your house and were alone at 16. So I'm imagining some of that abuse started at home.
Yes.
So, and a lot of people, it's so common, and I feel super fortunate. This is part of my gratitude is I didn't have that in my family, but I know so many families that were very dysfunctional, very toxic, because, in my opinion, individuals, everybody is kind of made to be an individual, and all of this pressure is put on them as this individual, and they separate themselves from everybody else instead of seeing everybody as a companion and an asset to existence. You know what I mean? Like if we all saw each other as asset to existence and we can help each other, it would be that much easier.
Yeah.
And there's all these
give
layers.
Each other compassion, because everybody's been through a trauma, and I feel like nobody's perfect. No family is perfect. So we all have, a little bullshit in there,
Yep.
And everybody has trauma, whether it's small trauma or large trauma. It's still trauma to that person, you know?
Right.
And you have to get to the root of it in order to shine.
Right. Well, what do you always say? You got to feel it to heal it.
You got to feel it to heal it, baby.
Yeah. And it's it's unfortunate, I think we're living in a great time where a lot of people are starting to become aware of the connectedness rather than the separateness. You know what I mean? I think that, we've been raised for a long time. Society has raised us and you're born so innocent, and you really kind of understand that everything's connected because you're a part of this. You're a part of nature. If you
Yeah.
look at nature, everything works together except human beings. We've kind of created this construct where there's all of this pressure on the individual to achieve certain things and be certain things, and it just really, it's a lot of stress, and a lot of people are very unhappy and struggling with life, which is why when I run across people like you, I'm so happy. I'm like, okay, there's hope in the world. People get it. People can understand how to be happy. And again, this particular moment, we're talking about self-love, and I think I can relate to that because I certainly went through some normal things, living through ego and kind of the layers of judgment and separation that society puts on you. And I tell the story this way. You pass yourself in the mirror every once in a while, and you get a glimpse of yourself, and that will evoke a feeling, right? Or not, or whatever. But one day I just kind of realized, I said, I think that when you look at yourself in the mirror, and I don't have kids, but I can try to imagine what it's like.
Yeah. Well, you've been around children.
I've been around children. I love children. I certainly can understand the essence and the energy of children. But when you look in the mirror, you should feel the same way as if you were gazing upon your child.
Yes.
Because I imagine that gazing upon your child is like you're gazing upon a perfect being, somebody who with unconditional, pure, unconditional love. Like, doesn't matter, what that child turns out to be, you still always love that child. And I didn't feel that way when I looked in the mirror, and I knew I didn't feel that way. And I had my own journey. I discovered some meditation and certain things, and just kind of intention, I think, was the most important one, like the intention to understand myself and these things. And then I can remember one day walking past the mirror and catching a glimpse of myself and feeling that way.
Yeah.
And everything changed. It was like life was simpler, happier. It was just really a very, very significant thing to achieve. So what are some of the things that you attribute to achieving that self-love? I mean, other than
there's
being abused so much that you're just like finally fed up. But I mean, or maybe I can pose that question better.
No, you pose it.
Okay.
You did it right. I'm just saying there's so much to do to come to that state. I mean, you have to there's some remove negativity. I removed people.
Okay, that's a great example, and I went through that too.
Yeah, I
realizing that.
Yeah, news. I haven't watched the news since 2008. Commercials. Anything that did not bring me joy, I stopped doing.
Right.
Right. Looking at myself and loving myself now for the body. Even I was 100 pounds, almost 100 pounds.
You were saying, yeah.
I had to love the body that I was in, and not wait for the body that I'll be, 100 pounds later. I gotta love me for what I am now.
And that helped you get into some regimens, obviously, to become fitter and thinner.
Change your habits. I changed the way I exercised. I changed the way I got up every morning. I hold goddess gatherings, and I give tips on, and all the other goddesses are just as beautiful and healed, or starting the journey. So we all give each other tips on what they do and whatnot.
That's great. That's awesome. Oh, and We got Marjorie in here saying hello, Sunshine.
Hey, Marjorie.
uh, yeah, that's awesome. So you were saying, that's a really great example. Also, I've been trying to, or I've been really noticing in my conversations when I have these examples that are good examples that people can understand easily.
Right.
I think we were discussing and not necessarily talking about self-love, but talking about just understanding energy. And I think we were talking about going to a concert
Yeah.
or something like that, and feeling the palpable
Yeah.
energy uh,
When you go
there.
to a great place and everybody wants to have fun, the energy is
Right,
high,
right. So
you know?
one of the things you were saying now regarding self-love that also connects to that is removing negative people from your life.
Right.
So that for me was also a step that I took, and I think that that's something everybody can understand, because even though I think a lot of people are struggling, there are people that are in their life that are struggling more, and what I mean by that is people who are just miserable.
Yeah.
I think they call them Karens
Ooh.
these days.
I-
But people who are miserable, and they're most comfortable being miserable. People who you say, "Hey, how's it going?" and their answer is, "It's Monday." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
But
just the fact that it's
that's what they're taught. That's their habit,
right. Exactly.
And if you change that habit and just change your words and the way you think,
Right.
then your day could be better.
Absolutely. And that's the story I tell all the time as well. Just the simple question, "Hey, how you doing?" And that exchange with somebody, notice what they say back to you. And most of the time I was noticing people are like, hanging in there, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
And when somebody would say, "I'm doing awesome," I'd be like, "Oh, that's great." And it would light me up. I would feel good. So I said, you know what, I'm going to start paying attention to that. And I started paying attention, and I would say, "I'm awesome." When people would ask me, I would find
Yeah.
something that I was grateful for, because you're not always awesome. Sometimes you're feeling a little tired or whatever it might be. But I would find something in my head so I could genuinely say, "I'm awesome." And that was also a huge change in my life. Just the energy that I put out was the energy that I knew was in my immediate area, because I had put it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and even, being empathic, you know, um, you could either absorb the other person's energy, or you can deflect it and shine your energy and have them absorb yours, So
That's exactly
that's
it.
one of
And
my
Sunshine, you do that so well. You're so good at that, and that's really, I think that's what kind of brought us together, and that's what I think we've got this similar mission to just show people that they've got a light inside them,
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
so easy. It's easier to light that light than to keep it dim, but people
yeah.
are just so used to keeping it dim,
Yeah.
and not
And
lighting it.
and people they have so much shame and anger because they weren't raised, to learn this way. They're raised
Right.
to, and if they just they have to learn to forgive themselves. That's huge, because we blame ourselves for everything, or we're not good enough, we're not
Right.
this, and we're speaking to ourselves
Right.
unkind.
Mm,
We're the
yeah.
ones who are
Making it so.
making ourselves suffer, because
Yeah.
we're repeating this pattern and the traumas. Like, if
Yeah.
the trauma had it happened 30 years ago, honey, it was 30 years ago,
Right.
you know
That's right.
and just know that it's not going to happen to you again.
That's right.
Embrace that inner child and say, you're good.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, we've got, and I think that may be another one of your goddess friends checking in, saying
Yes,
hello.
another
Trish
God,
Adams, hello.
Trish.
Welcome to the
Hey,
moment, Trish. Thank you for co-creating this moment with us and being
such
here.
beautiful souls.
Yeah, see that with getting that energy together, sending out some ripples into the universe.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so you got to heal the inner child, and forgive them, because they've done nothing wrong. Nobody has
Right.
done. I don't even like the word failure. It should be
Right.
removed from the dictionary.
Right. A lot of people take they've experienced trauma and they take it on as their identity. Like,
Right.
this happened to me, so this is what I am. And I
Right.
think people need to understand that, whatever happened to you isn't your fault, and it's your lesson. You're
Right.
supposed to be learning how to get past that. That's your challenge.
Yeah.
Face it, face on. You know what I mean? You got to feel it to heal it, right? Like
Feel
you were
it to
saying,
heal it. Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
like. I have the one of the one of the really famous yogis. Of course, I can't think of his name right now, but he has an analogy about a thorn, and I like to tell it to people.
Okay.
You get a thorn stuck in your wrist, and you're like, oh no, I don't want to feel that pain, so I'm going to put a Band-Aid on it. And then, it rubs up against you and you're like, oh, I got to put some more cushion on it, and then after 5 years, you're still thinking about that stupid thorn that happened 5 years ago. And now you built up all these walls and layers.
Right. You never let it heal.
And if you just freaking remove the thing, you would have felt the pain for 10 seconds,
Right.
and you would have had 5 years left back in your life,
Yeah.
It took me 50 years to remove that thorn,
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. It's funny because I think as like such a positive person, and I'm sure you experience this too. People don't understand that we weren't always like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this is a conscious decision. This is a choice to be like, all right, you know what? I'm looking around and I see what's out there in the world. This is what I want to put out in the world. Again, and I said this recently, and I thought I used to say I put it out there just to know it was out there, but I put it out there to know it's out there and in the nearby vicinity, because I put it out there, so it's nearby. But I mean, again, the simplest things about understanding energy and understanding self-love, gratitude, some of these really simple concepts to make people happy like you, Sunshine. You bring so much joy to the world.
And it's not a simple process, because you have to go through the emotions. You have to feel it. And sometimes it takes years,
Right.
And crying is so necessary. It's so cleansing.
Mm-hmm.
It's removing what does not belong to you and what does not serve you.
And let me ask you a question, because for me, when I cry, whether it's gratitude or grief, it always still feels like gratitude. It always still feels like joy. Even if it's grief, it's like, somebody really close to me passed, and I have the grief and I'm crying. I'm still feeling the joy of the connection I had with that person, and the existence that that being together. So it's cool to kind of really get to the point of understanding that. So let's hear some tips that you might give in your goddess group. Give us some tips here in the moment.
Well, like I said, the word failure, remove it from your dictionary. You're only doing the best you could possibly do at any given moment. I wake up every day and I have my alarm set to my favorite song.
Okay, that's cool. It's good.
Yeah.
Good suggestion.
It's actually a song that says, I am beautiful, I am bountiful, I am bliss. And then it goes on with I ams, because everything that you say after I am is what you believe to be. So if you say I am ugly, that's what you will believe. But if you say I am beautiful, You will be
Right.
beautiful. You
And you
know?
know what? It's so funny because that's another thing that I feel like is such a simple concept that people don't understand. Like,
Well,
because,
because they were never taught.
right, you were never
Yeah.
taught the power of those words, and it sounds like, oh, magic, ooh, hoodoo, voodoo.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
like once you've seen it and once you understand it and you've seen it in action, I mean, it's not magic and it's not like instant. It's not like you say something and poof, it's there. But there is such magical energy in words and manifesting stuff
Yeah.
through words, and especially when it's towards yourself, when you say I am, you know
Well,
what I mean?
they're
And
believing what they're not because they're
right,
telling
exactly.
themselves lies, you
Right,
know?
exactly. So
They're telling themselves that, what they were told by other people, you
right,
know? Like,
right,
we had this conversation, I actually did a post about it and said, people say, "I'm an addict." You're not an addict.
right.
You
You
have an
have an addiction.
addiction,
Right,
right,
right.
but you're
Yep,
not an addict.
right.
You
Exactly.
know, you say, "I'm fat." You're not fat. You may have
Right.
fat, but you're not
Right.
fat.
Well, that's the one thing, and I don't even want to say it out loud, that I would say about myself and my relationship with money. I would say a certain thing about how I was with money, right?
Right,
And that's how I was with
right,
money. You know
right.
what I mean? But now money's coming in, and I mean, I'm doing
I
things.
love money and
I
money
love
flows to
money.
me.
I love money, but money, like I'm doing things that I love, and for money, you know what I mean,
Right.
like it's coming my way, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and the job, I curated my own life, to work at a studio part-time where I wanted to join this team of creative people and create content and broadcast stuff, and now I'm doing it,
Yeah.
and
'Cause
it's
you
been
believed in
amazing
yourself.
because I believed in myself. And
Yeah.
so, I've been working with Jackie the Joke Man Martling, who is somebody who I grew up. I know who he is. He's a lot of people know who he is. Some people don't know who he is, but he's pretty famous. He was, a big part of Howard Stern, the whole Howard Stern show rising to fame. And then there's some infamy there that happened with that story and him. But for me, when I was a young kid, he had invented the joke line, which was like a phone number. It was like before 800, 1-800 numbers. You would call a number, I think it's 922-WINE, WINE, and it's the joke line. And it's Jackie Martling, and he would you'd hear a recording, but he'd be like, "What did this one guy say to the other guy?" And he would deliver a joke, and it became a very, very classic uh, comedy routine, and and that was his kind of claim to fame. And then he's done some other things since then, but anyway, now working on a podcast with him called Stand Up Memories, and it's him and another comedian, Peter Bales, talking about their from the 70s on, all of their follies in the comedy clubs. One of the clips we have on the show is Peter Bale saying, "I told Eddie Murphy he should stay in college," so he had something to fall back on.
Yeah.
So it's great. They have so many memories, and it's just like so cool to be a part of. And yeah, again, it was just kind of, it came from self-love and deciding that I wanted to drive the ship and do certain things, and it
Yes.
got me involved in these great projects. I mean,
Yeah, I love that.
good stuff. Yeah.
And with talking to yourself, unkindly, because you're not these things. You are
Right.
love. We are born complete love, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And so I'll go back to the tips. When with the complete love, though, when you're born this innocent, pure state, and I've been reborn again into sunshine, because now I am
Right.
in that state, because I am literally 5 years old.
Right.
you know
Right. So it's 5 years ago that you declared yourself Sunshine?
no, it was like 2 years ago, I think
Okay.
it was.
I
Yeah.
love I love that story because and I told you this as we became friends. I would tell you all the time. You literally created yourself. You literally
Yeah.
just one day said, "I am Sunshine," and literally became that. Every interaction I've seen you with, every interaction I've been with personally with you is like that. It's just super easy. You know what I mean? Talking to people these days is so difficult because everybody's on the defensive and you
Yeah.
never know where anyone's coming from. And it's like, if you don't act that way, again, you're putting out that energy like, hey, you don't have to be that way. And people see that and they're like, ooh, look at this girl.
Well,
She's
I get a lot of people, I think, because I totally believe that I went through every single thing that I've been through, because so I could relate to everybody and
right,
be
right, right, right.
empathic with everybody, because
Sure.
I've been through what I've, lost,
Hmm.
I've had, I can't, we'll have to have a whole show of the exact, like
Right.
I can't even name everything,
Sure.
but it's no longer, I don't have any pain anymore, because it's just a story to me now,
Right,
because I have been reborn to
right,
sunshine.
right, right.
But with tips, so I wake up, that song is 7 minutes long. So instead
Okay.
of getting up and laying there like, ugh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I lay there and I sing to myself, I am beautiful, I am bountiful, I am bliss. And I've
That's
got
great.
3 dogs. I don't know if you can see them. There's 2 of them behind me. And we just snuggle, for 7 minutes in bed.
Right.
And then I start my day. You know, the dogs come first, of course.
Cool.
And then even in the shower, that's where water is so grounding. So
Yes, I find water grounding too. And actually,
yeah,
I had actually recently. Oh, what happened there? Why did I go
I'm
blank?
little, I'm
Uh,
tiny.
I must have. I'm trying to get your website up over here. Uh, so
Yeah,
people,
so in
so,
the
so people.
shower, I say my prayers, please remove what does not belong to me. Please remove what does not serve me. And I call upon my loves, my angels, my Saint Germain, and of course, God.
Mhm.
But people can call in Mother Earth, ground
Right,
Mother Earth,
right. Well,
have universe, because everybody has different
and I
beliefs.
hear a lot of people do it in the shower. So I was going to say, I was kind of trying to do a bunch of things at once here, but I was going to say, um, somebody who I was in a group chat with, a Zoom, and there were a couple of people there that were channelers, and this one channeler had a message for me, and she said something about um, thanking water, like
Yeah.
being grateful for water, and it was a
Yeah.
very powerful thing. And the next time I was in the shower, I kind of looked up at the water as it was coming down to me, and I totally was like, I totally get what she's saying. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I was able to actually thank the water and exchange exchange energy with the water on a much different level.
Yeah.
And it's so weird to say that kind of stuff. You sound all like woo woo, like what the hell are you talking about?
Well,
But
we are woo-woo,
yeah,
man.
I guess we are. I guess we are. It comes
Uh,
out and it makes sense to me. So if I'm saying it, it must mean something, right?
yeah, yeah.
So that's your website across the bottom of the screen there. We haven't even talked about some of the stuff that you do as Sunshine. Um, so Sunshine is a painter, and this is
Artiste.
she's an artiste. That's right. She's actually a multimedia artist because if
Yeah.
you look at that beautiful thing she's wearing now, I'm going to make you big
Oh,
here
yeah, that's right.
so you can show off
My famous sweater.
your latest art is the sweater that you're wearing. You've been
Uh,
crocheting.
Look at the clouds. I made clouds
Oh, that
around
is
it.
so cool. I just love that it's all like very free form and just like
Yeah,
you're
it
just
came out of my
overflowing. Yeah,
brain.
you're overflowing. So it's like stuff. But here's your website, and some of your paintings are on here, but also people can get in touch with you for energy healing.
Yeah.
And I see your book is also on here. Books over here, Sunshine Warrior. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, during the pandemic,
Looks
2020,
like you get it on Amazon.
Yeah, those are all my books, actually.
Oh, look at that.
I have 3, and then you keep scrolling. I illustrated for other friends.
Oh, wonderful! Look at this.
Barbara and Beth. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, listen, I've been around, man.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough. I didn't do anybody else.
No, those are the other ones. No, okay, cool. So let's go back to your website. But I'm gonna pull that out. So, I'm gonna go to the gallery.
So during the pandemic, I decided to start painting fences, and I started with mine, and just to, brighten up the day.
Right. It was
and it just took off from there. And
perfect timing. It was exactly what the world needed at that moment. For sure.
Yeah.
I'm bringing back this. This is a page on your website. So this is something else that you do, which is soul portraits. And I'm indirectly involved with this. This was really great.
Oh yeah, there you are.
So I feel like this is such a great example of just the universe, because I had seen you. We had been friends on Facebook. I was following you. You were following me. We were looking at each other's artwork, supporting each other. And then I saw you were a guest on like a podcast or something, and I saw how happy you were, and I was like, oh, that's a great idea. She'll make a great guest. And I invited you on my show, on the live stream of consciousness, and
you haven't gotten rid of me since.
And I haven't gotten rid of you since. But why don't you tell the story about the soul portrait and how that happened? Because that was like, I didn't know you did soul portraits.
Oh,
I didn't really even ask for one, but I want you to tell a story, but
yeah, you asked me to come on, and I usually shut my electronics off at 9. That's another tip. Shut it off. Give yourself an hour. If you want to sleep soundly, shut off the world, So I'm very creative, obviously. I don't usually watch TV, and I just create. So your show didn't come on till 9. So I was like, what am I going to do? So that image popped into my head, and I just started painting it. And I finished it the next day after the interview and everything. And I showed it to you. And then I was like, oh my God, that is you. Your soul came to me right before. Before
so
the
cool.
interview.
So cool. I love that. So I think I saw down here also is this your fence right here?
That and the dragonflies on my fence too, underneath that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, and such a great time for that to happen. You really like.
And that's my soul sister Lynn, the rainbow one. She was my second. I did my fence, and then I think I went to Lynn's.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't really see it. Put her doggies on there. There's
nice.
Yes.
Very cool. Awesome. So I love your painting. I love your energy. I'm excited to be doing this kind of stuff with you, and looking forward to do more of your painting stuff. That was pretty successful and fun, doing a live painting show.
We did a show,
and we actually got some got some requests, so I think we're gonna do a fairy, right? And
a fairy and an angel.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, I mean,
I just want to say one more thing for the self-love.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I was I wasn't necessarily going to wrap it up, but yeah, we
Oh,
can't.
okay.
But no. Go ahead and I was going to wrap it up, but I don't need to, is what I'm saying.
Right. Well, I don't know how I came up upon this, but well, yes, I do, but whatever. We are all sunshine, every single one of us. You know, if it's raining out or there's a tornado or there's hurricanes, the sun is always shining. It's just behind the clouds, behind the storm, you know, and that's our sunshine is right here, you know. And when you remove the layers and the clouds and the misery, your heart is your sunshine, you know, and you're just gonna be love,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you know, I certainly understand when you tell someone, "Oh, this is you, you're this," and they're like, "No, I don't feel it." I certainly understand, but you know, that's part of the journey is believing it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
trying to help people understand that they can believe in and how easy it is to believe. You know, that's what your goddess group is about. That's what my live stream of consciousness is
Yeah.
about. That's what, you know, our everyday existence is about, because we know, because we have so much love for ourselves, I think, that
Yeah, well, that's why I say that if we fill ourselves up with our own love, love ourselves unconditionally, it overflows to everybody else, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you are such a great example of that.
Example of hope.
Yeah,
Because if I can do it, we could all do it. Seriously.
absolutely.
Seriously.
Absolutely. And you know what? I should have, you know, the moment is kind of spontaneous. We didn't really plan this, but I should, next time maybe we'll do an episode about before and after. We can show a picture of where you came from if you want to share, you know, just because I think it's impressive to see, you know, what and you know what, honestly, when I see pictures of you in the past, I still see sunshine. I do see there's a happiness in there. You know what I mean? But
trying to get out.
Right. And look, you did, and here you are. I'm so happy that you did. But thank you for sharing this moment with me.
Well, thank you for having me and sharing your moment with me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing some more. I'm sure we can come up with some cool topics to talk about and some cool other guests to bring into the circle.
Well, yeah, because I had a Zoom goddess gathering today, and I had I think I had five individuals, and one of them came on. Her name's Lada, or like,
okay.
Yeah, and I told her to friend request you because she's a unicorn. I mean, she actually dresses up as a unicorn, and she brings joy to other people, you know, and she does it, you know, over the internet. Meetings.
She does like a Zoom meeting as a unicorn.
That's so cool. Unicorn and everything. And
that's so cool.
And
you know what? I think I might have seen. I think she may have friend requested me.
I told her to. And then I have, you know, my other friend Carla, who does the Violet Flame classes. She was on today too, and you know, she's the one who channels all those amazing.
Was she the one who channeled Hitler?
Yes.
Wow. Yes. You know what? So you know what? I would love to invite you on to be my co-host for the moment.
Okay.
You know, when you can, and I would love to talk to some of these goddesses that you have in your group.
Yeah, there's so many of them that are amazing.
That's great.
I mean, they're all amazing, but you know,
some people want to come on the show, some people don't. You know what I mean? Whoever's interested, listen. I want to share with the world. Great conversation. I want to share the energy that you and I share with each other, that people can kind of be like, oh, what am I watching? And hopefully they'll feel that energy and you know, walk away with a smile.
And if anybody needs a little guidance, reach out. I actually, if I don't feel like I'm a right fit for somebody, I recommend somebody else, because there's so many of us out there
Yep,
that
yep.
want to help and
Right.
and
And do so, and there's so many different ways that people help.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
people talk to past people who have passed. Some
yeah,
people read the future and
yeah,
astrological charts, and so yeah, so great, awesome,
yeah.
wonderful, awesome. Well, Sunshine, it was wonderful. We could do this forever.
I
Uh,
know.
we'll do it again soon. Thank you guys for whoever was here for co-creating our moment,
Thank you.
and we will see you soon.
Love ya.
Adios.